How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see in the title of the video, today we're going to look at Seamoss. If you're confused about real Seamoss versus fake Seamoss, what's the difference? Today we're going to talk about it. I got 8 different Seamosses here that I got from different sources, and we're going to talk about each one and basically dispel myths and just kind of bring some clarity to the Seamoss game, because there's a lot of people out here selling Seamoss that have absolutely no idea about it. So that leads to the consumers being confused. So we're gonna go through each one of these. I'm gonna explain what kind of Seamoss it is, where it's from, what's my favorite Seamoss to use, and what's the least favorite Seamoss to use. So we're gonna talk about the low quality Seamoss, the mid quality Seamoss, and the high quality Seamoss. So first, we're gonna go over here to this one, which might look familiar to a lot of people because this is what's really in the market right now. This is the St. Lucian Gold Seamoss. You know, with the St. Lucian Seamoss, a lot of people label it as wild crafted when it's not wild crafted. This is actually farmed Seamoss. Most Seamoss coming from St. Lucia is going to be farmed Seamoss. Wild crafted means that it's natural grown in its natural environment. And while this is like Seamoss that is not bad per se, it definitely is grown in a farm, and you can kind of tell, like, when this is hydrated, you'll just have like multiple pieces like this. This will hydrate into multiple. It's like it'll be like a big piece right here. This will be another one, big piece. You can kind of see where it's cut right here. This is like a chunk of Seamoss that was tied around the rope. It is definitely not wild crafted, and you can tell because it never comes with rocks attached. You'll never find any rocks attached to St. Lucian Seamoss. Even if you ordered like 50 pounds of St. Lucian Seamoss and this whole table is filled with it, and you're looking through it, you won't find the rocks. Like, it's too, for me, what I say is too clean. It comes extremely clean. There's no ocean debris in it. There's no coral, rocks, seashells, anything. The smell, to me, doesn't smell like the ocean. I don't know if St. Lucian ocean smells different, but this doesn't have an oceany smell. It's like a mild kind of smell to it. So yeah, people say to determine what's real Seamoss versus fake Seamoss, they say, you know, real Seamoss, it doesn't have a lot of salt. This is what they always say. It doesn't have a lot of salt. It's skinny, and yeah, that's basically what they say. But that's not enough. The real way to determine is that if you order a bulk of Seamoss, you should see examples of the ocean, and you should see rocks, you should see seashells. So this is the St. Lucian Gold, and we're gonna move here to, this is my favorite one. They call this Spaghetti Seamoss. One of my favorites here is Spaghetti Seamoss. Now this is wild crafted Seamoss, or wild harvested, whatever term you want to use. And you can tell because you can see actual proof, right? You can see the rocks here. It's attached to the rock. If I pull this off, you see the rock, and you see this growing out of the rock, right? That's real Seamoss. It's real Seamoss that gets its minerals from the rock. That's the 92 minerals that everyone talks about. Everyone says Seamoss has 92 minerals out of 102. Well, this Seamoss, this farm Seamoss, it doesn't have 92 minerals in it. That's the only reason why, you know, I wouldn't recommend getting this if you want the best quality Seamoss. This doesn't have 92 minerals because it doesn't latch onto a rock. It gets its minerals from the ocean, and the ocean doesn't have 92 minerals just in the ocean water. I'm not sure exactly how much it is. I think it's around 40 minerals. But this gold Spaghetti Seamoss, come a little bit closer again, you can see the rock here. I'm sure it's more, you see here. Extremely skinny, and they say this is skinny, you know, but when this hydrates, this will be like a fat vein right here. This one right here, this will hydrate really pretty fat. This one doesn't hydrate fat, okay? That's a telltale sign that it's 100% quality. Top quality, wild crafted. Here's another big, look at that big piece. All right, so if you see this, then it's, you know, it's for sure that you got some good stuff, wild crafted. Gets 92 minerals, gets its mineral from the rocks. Now from here, we're gonna go, let's show this one. This is the Honduran Seamoss. So this is similar to the Jamaican Seamoss, right? It looks kind of similar. Let's look side by side, very similar. As you can see, there's definitely examples of the ocean in here. This is, I don't know, seashell, looks like. And you can see it's dirty, you know, sand, debris, another rock here. It shouldn't be hard to find rocks in your sea moss if you're ordering by the pound. It shouldn't be hard. So this is Honduran sea moss. Like I said, it's also Gracilaria sea moss. As far as the species, it's less important than making sure that it's just wild crafted and grown from the rock. This is called, I believe, Cottoneye, Euclima cottoneye, something like that. That's the St. Lucian sea moss that everyone grows. This Jamaican is Gracilaria. This Honduras is Gracilaria as well, as far as I know. Okay. Now next we're gonna go to this purple sea moss here. This is St. Lucian purple sea moss. So let's take a look at this. So it's Gracilaria. Oh no, this is Cottoneye, just like this. So it's basically the same like kind of sea moss. This is just gold, this is just purple. It's the same species, both Cottoneye. Now this is, again, farm sea moss. And most people would think that this is wild crafted, but as you can see, let's see if we can find any examples of the ocean in here. All right. There's no rocks. There's no coral, no seashells. Sally sold seashells, but a seashore. Right? And if you look here, this is one big piece. Like, this is one big piece right here. Like this, you see the cut? And if this hydrates, this will just be one big piece of sea moss that, you know, it's all together. And when it hydrates, it'll just be a big thing. And obviously that's what tied onto the rope and grew on the rope, not the rock. So that's the biggest misconception is about this kind of sea moss, this St. Lucian Cottoneye sea moss. They think that it is wild crafted because that's what the suppliers say, but they must be talking about the other wild crafted, you know. They're changing definitions. It's definitely not wild crafted as in wild harvested, as in growing on rocks. So this is purple St. Lucian Cottoneye, right? So this is purple, but this is the real purple, quote unquote real. If you want to say real versus fake, this is the real purple. This is Jamaican purple spaghetti sea moss. And if you look in here, you know, it's very, very, very thin strands, like extremely thin. And it doesn't like swell up. And if you look for examples of, let's see if we can find any rocks. There's one here, right? Growing right from the rock. So it checks out. Simple as that. You know, you want to keep it simple when you're talking about real sea moss versus fake sea moss. If you're talking about, you know, wild crafted natural sea moss that grows in its natural environment from a rock, or farm sea moss, then it's as simple as seeing if you find any rocks. Order enough to see if you can find any rocks. That's purple Jamaican. I like this too as well. You know, making the gel with these, the gold spaghetti, the purple spaghetti, and even like the Honduran sea moss, you really want to like use the heating method with those to make the gel, because when it heats up, it makes it a good gel. If you're just soaking it and doing it raw like a lot of people do, it won't really be a good gel. So next is the Chondrus crispus purple sea moss. Now this is a really good quality sea moss. I would say that this is maybe the highest quality sea moss as far as nutrition goes, nourishment goes. This is the official Irish moss. This is the sea moss that grows in Ireland. It also grows in Maine. It grows in cold water areas, and this is Irish moss. You know, everyone calls Irish moss or sea moss Irish moss in general. Like people will call this Gracilaria Irish moss because in reality, in Jamaica, they adopted that name. So a lot of people that grew up in Jamaica call it Irish moss, and that's just what they call it, even though this is the official Irish moss. So it's not that, you know, people are just trying to deceive anyone, but it really is a name that Jamaicans use, Irish moss. But this is the Irish moss that got famous for, you know, nourishing people during the Irish potato famine in the 1800s. They used this to keep them nourished and to not die. Basically, it saved them. It gave them the minerals and nutrition that they needed during the famine. And I love this one as well. It's you can't find any rocks here, but you'll see like pieces, like it's dirty. You know, you can see that there's debris from the sea. Let's see this, always comes like this. The good thing about Chondrus crispus is that it can't be duplicated. It can't be farmed, as far as I know. This can't be farmed like Gracilaria and Cottoneye can. So if you're getting Chondrus crispus, this is what it should look like, and it's guaranteed to be official because they've yet to find a way to actually replicate it in controlled environments. So this is good too. You can make a gel out of this. Again, I would heat this up to make a good gel with it.
Which one is your favorite?
My favorite is going to be the spaghetti Seamoss. For me, it's easy to make the gel. It stays together. I like the Honduran Seamoss as well, but I don't know, it breaks apart easily. It's more messy. It's harder to clean. This is easier to clean for me. So next we're gonna go to the multicolor. Everyone likes this because it's beautiful. Look at this, very beautiful. It's different colors. It usually comes in different colors like gold, purple, green. And this is St. Lucian Seamoss. Okay, so we already learned about St. Lucian Seamoss. It's not wildcrafted, it's grown on ropes in general. Now, to be clear, there is definitely real sea moss, natural sea moss that grows in St. Lucia. But as far as what's on the market, you can see this is one big piece, right? It's tied to a rope right here. And it started out small, they tied it to a rope, and it grows bigger and bigger. So this will be on the rope. Probably show some pictures right here of it. And yeah, I mean, this is decent sea moss as well, but as you can see, you'll never find any rocks on this. So you know, that's the telltale sign that it is farmed sea moss. Now last and least is the most popular sea moss as far as what people see locally. Like if they're told to go out and get sea moss, they go to the local farmer's market. They're gonna find this, and if you can see, looks kind of similar to what we've been seeing, right? This cut right here, one piece. It's one piece, and this will swell up and be one piece. It's a piece that was tied to a rope. Now most people will look at this sea moss and they're like, oh, ew, it's pool sea moss, pool grown sea moss. But my belief is that pool grown sea, I think pool grown sea moss is kind of like a myth, because I've never seen a pool growing sea moss. I've seen plenty of sea moss farms. And it seems inefficient to grow sea moss in a pool. This sea moss is just grown differently. It's not really dried like the rest of these are. Like honestly, if you look at these two, these are like the same sea moss. This is Yucuma Cottoneye, this is the same. But this is dried differently than this. This is barely dried and they cover it with salt to preserve it. This is sun dried all the way down to a skinny, brittle level, but when this hydrates, this will be kind of like the same size as this. So people think this is pool grown. I don't believe it's pool grown. You know, this is a product that is grown in Vietnam. Grow it over in Vietnam, then they'll ship it to Jamaica, and then they'll clean it and then throw salt on it and then sell it as Jamaican sea moss. But as you can see, it's covered in salt. I got my table here, very salty. So that's one of the things that they say to stay away from sea moss that's covered in salt, because first of all, it's not dried properly, doesn't smell the best, and you know, you just want to, if you're aiming for the best quality, this is definitely the lower quality. Like I said, pool grown, I don't believe it's pool grown. I actually seen this exact type of sea moss being grown in a farm. But I definitely would say that this is a sea moss that you would want to stay away from if you have a better option to get something even like the St. Lucian sea moss. So this would be the lowest quality sea moss, right? The St. Lucian Seamoss will be the next quality Seamoss. It's the gold, purple, and multicolored St. Lucian. And then as far as the top quality Seamoss, the real Seamoss, that's going to be these wild crafted Seamosses here. Jamaican spaghetti, Honduran, like a spaghetti type of Seamoss, purple, Jamaican, and Chondrus crispus. So that's 8 different Seamosses. Hopefully I answered some questions for you today. Real versus fake, what's the difference? Is there such thing as pool grown? The jury is still out because no one has ever seen it before. This clearly looks different than all of these. It clearly shows that it's the lowest quality, but this is still farmed Seamoss, just like this. Okay, and this is the one that people tout as like the great, St. Lucian Seamoss. All right, guys, so that's it. Real Seamoss versus fake Seamoss. I hope you guys learned something. Comment below if I missed anything, or if you have any extra knowledge about the Seamoss. Hope you guys was able to take something from this, and take care.